Hey guys, welcome back. For those of you who haven't been to one of our squats or trots, I'm Hannah. So this month we are going to work on shoulders, and back. So one of the big things I see in a lot of my riders is either having hair and they're riding, or they're tipped forward a little bit right here. So that's going to be a big one. And then, of course, as always, we're going to work on core control because that's going to help. Anybody with a long torso has to work a little extra hard, so maybe they don't realize exactly what they need to do. And then every single rider needs that core stability, so when the horse goes left and you're not asking it, you can stay with them and help them get back straight. The other thing we're going to mainly work on, so shoulders today. The other thing we're going to mainly work on will be on Thursday, and that's going to be our hips. So a lot of times we're in a seated position if you're working all the time. That gets your hip flexors really tight. It lengthens out your hamstrings. So when you're in the saddle, also you don't have the movement and mobility to be able to get in the position, one, to be on your horse, two, maybe your knees are really tight, which is coming from your hips. So we need to remember that the whole body is an integrated system. So maybe a shoulder is tight, that's going to throw your hip off. If a hip is tight, that's going to throw your legs off. So everything works together. So even if you're like, I don't use chest muscles, well, if we're sitting at a computer or a phone all day, your chest muscles are tight, back muscles are long. So we need to start working and evening everything out. So we're going to start today with our upper body, and we're going to focus on mainly our shoulders and our back to help with our solid form, okay? So we're going to do that by going to the ground first, and we're going to work on some mobility, and you're going to lay down. So as you're down, do what feels best here. We're either going to go goalpost arms or arms straight out in a T. So go which way you want. See which one stretches out your chest the most. Then you're going to keep your head facing in the opposite direction. So if I'm going to pick up my right leg, my head is facing to the right. It's down, toe is pointed, and I'm going to stretch it up and over. All right, so how far your toe reaches depends on your mobility here. So again, find a starting point. This is stretching out your back. It's stretching out your chest. So again, you can go arms out and really push into your chest here. Good. A few more. Last one. Good. All right. So now we're going to do a fun one. You're going to sit down. Legs out. If you need to do this standing, do it standing. And you're going to pretend like you're driving a car here. So arms are straight out. This would just be like we're riding a horse, except our legs are out. So from here up, like you're riding a horse. So core is tight. What we're going to do is we're going to work and control our shoulders. So first, I want you to push your shoulders back. So I'm protracting. So my shoulders are popping out to the back, all right? Then I'm gonna elevate my shoulders. I'm gonna lift them to my ears. Now I'm going to pull my shoulders back. Now drop, all right? So this is getting you good shoulder control. So when you're on your horse and you start to realize your shoulders are here, you can now physically pull them back into position. All right, so let's do it again. Protract, push your shoulders back. Elevate, lift them to your ears. All right. Pull your shoulders back now and drop them. All right. Now, push again. Elevate, pull back, drop. Now listen, lift, protract. So you're pushing your shoulders back. Now drop. All right, so we just reversed it all the way. Ready? You're nice and straight now. Protract, push your shoulders back. Elevate, retract them back. Lower them down. Now we go back. Lift them up, push your shoulders back, and drop. All right. Now you're gonna go on all fours. We're gonna work a little more on that shoulders. If this hurts your knee, you can put a towel under your knees, or you can do this standing where you're just squatting down and put your hands on your knees. All right, so we're doing cat-cow. So with that, you have your back lifting up, but what I want you to really focus on is pushing your shoulders up. So watch my shoulders, they're pushing up, and then I'm dropping my shoulder blades and curving down. All right, so now watch my shoulders. Push them up into my back. Now watch my shoulders. Dropping my shoulders, scooping down. Push your shoulder blades up, scoop your pelvis in. Drop your shoulders down, pop it out. Push up. So we're really focusing on that shoulder control and back control here. So we're pushing the shoulder. So we're not just going through the movements here, we're actually really focusing on what we're doing. Pelvis is in, shoulder blades are up. Drop my shoulder blades, dip it down. So it seems really small and insignificant, but those are the biggest things when you're on that horse. Drop, down. We're learning our body. So the whole point of this is to learn your body. Everybody's gonna be a little tight in different areas. Start to really focus. My right shoulder's tighter than my left shoulder, or my right shoulder doesn't have as much mobility. Same with your hips, same with your back. What side's tighter? That's what we're gonna be focusing on. All right, so now we're gonna lay down on our backs. My shoe's untied. And as you're down, your knees are bent, and I want you to push your back into the ground. All right, so push your spine in. That means you gotta rotate your pelvis forward a little bit. Hands go up, and your goal is to reach back without your lower back lifting off the ground. So if you start to get that bend in your back, where you start to arch right here, you've gone too far. So I want you to focus on pushing your back down into the ground and go slow and control. You can start by just putting thumbs down. See if you can reach your thumbs to the floor. If you have good mobility, make your fist. But as you do it, I want you tightening your core and pushing your lower back to the ground. Good. So tighten, push your back to the ground. Again, listen to your body. Is one shoulder tighter than the other? Is one hip trying to come off the ground? Pay attention to every little move. We're gonna go slow so you can really focus. Good. All right. So we're getting all loosened up. Just a few more here. All right, so now we're gonna do pull back and down. So I want you physically pinching your shoulder blades together, but as you do it, I don't want you popping your butt out. So keep your butt and your core nice and tight. Now, move a little more with it. Stretch those shoulders, stretch your chest. Good. All right, now we're just gonna take it to a different angle. So now we're gonna bend over and hinge, and as we do this, we're gonna keep our core tight, hinging at your waist here. All right? So now you're gonna step and fly, just like an eagle here. Good. Pinch the shoulder blades. So as you're doing it, you're physically pinching those shoulder blades together. Keep the core tight, keep the back straight. All right. All right, so now we should be kind of activated of the muscles we wanna work, and we should be all loosened up and mobile. So now we're gonna start a workout. All right, first one, you're gonna go down to the ground. If you have a towel, roll it up. You can put it under your forehead. So everything's going to stay down except for your arms. They're gonna go out in a T, thumbs up. All you're going to do, lift, hold, slowly lower down. And you're gonna keep your head and forehead on the ground or on your rolled up towel. Body stays flat. All that's lifting are your arms. All right, here we go. Everybody down and lift, hold, slowly lower. Lift, hold, lower. Good. So again, focus on those shoulder blades. Pinch them together, come back down. Good. 2 more here. Slowly lower. Hold and lower. All right. So now we're standing back up and we're gonna go back into that hinge. So as you do this, you pretend like somebody just karate chopped you in the waist, okay? So somebody karate chops you here, so my knees aren't moving, it's just my hips. All right, so we're moving here. Arms are out here. So you are going to press, pull back, rotate down and up. All right, so press in, down, up. As you do that, you got to make sure your core stays tight the whole time, so don't get that big arch in your back, so keep it tucked in. All that's doing, we're hinging, tighten your core. So if your lower back starts to hurt, that means you're not supporting it with your core, okay? So here we go. Arms in your goal post, and overhead press, in, rotate, back. Press, in, rotate, back. Good, start flowing through it now. Keep your breathing nice and steady. So a lot of times when things get hard, your breathing cuts off. A lot of times in your transitions, when you start cantering, things like that, you stop breathing because you're just holding your breath, you're not thinking about it, you're kind of nervous, gets hard, your body just stops. So as we go through these, when things get hard, I want you to really focus on what your body's doing, and I want you to slowly breathe. Control your breath. Last one here. Press in, rotate, up. Shake it out. All right. So now we're going to go into our plank. This is going to add some core control, stability. If you need to, set your hands on something. So you can set your hands on a step, on a chair, on a couch, whatever you need to. It's going to elevate you and make it not quite as hard. So find your level of starting. And then as you progress, you can increase the intensity. So you can also go onto your knees. The trick with your knees is you don't want to be up here. So you still have to be out here as if you just dropped your knees down from your toes to your knees. All right? So again, find your starting point. And our goal is to do some shoulder taps. Tap, tap. Now what your body's going to want to do is rotate. So find your starting point. Maybe you can only just hold it. Maybe you can just pick your hand up really quick. Okay? So find that starting point. And your goal is to go nice and slow without rotating. So we're in it now. Everybody join me. And what you don't want is to put all your weight over here and to let your body rotate. So this is an anti-rotation. Just like when you're on your horse, it's doing something underneath you. Your upper body has to stay still. So again, maybe you're just lifting your hand, getting it off the ground a little bit. Find that point. Even if you're on your knees and your upper body's elevated, find that starting point. Okay. 2 more here. Ready? 1, 2. Good. Drop it down. Shake it out. We're going to run through everything again. All right. We're going back to our belly. So you're going to go on your belly, head on your towel or on the floor. And now we're going to go a little more Y. So we're gonna go up a little bit. Head down. Now you're more in the Y position. Up and down. Same thing. Thumbs raising. Hold. Lower. Hold. Lower. If this is too hard, move back to the T. Hold. Lower. Lots of control here. Slow your breathing. Hold. Lower. 2 more. Last one. Good. All right, standing back up. We're going back to the hinge. So again, focus on your hinge as well. So you're hinging at the waist. My knees aren't moving, it's all in my hips. Now tuck your core, so tighten it up like somebody's about to come and sucker punch you. Butt is here. So no popping of the back here. See how there's that curve? This is where my core gets tight, and now I'm straight. Okay? All right. Now, arms in position. Press in, rotate down. Press. Really press them forward. In. Squeeze them down. Don't just pull them down. Actually squeeze that muscle. Rotate in. Press. Squeeze. Good. Every little movement is important. Keep that core tight. Keep breathing. Keep your neck straight, so I don't want you trying to look up. Flow through the movement. It doesn't matter if you're with me or not. Keep your head kind of looking down. Spine nice and straight. 2 more. Rotate. Press. Again, squeeze as you come down. Good. All right, shake it out. We're gonna go back down into those planks one more time. Again, find your starting point. See if you can do 1 or 2 of the level above, and then go back down if you need to, but always take that step up just to see where you're at, see where your body's growing as you do this over and over. All right. So again, as I'm in plank, the most important thing, especially for my new moms, tighten it up. If you feel like you're kind of pooching out at all, raise your hands onto something, elevate them. Tighten up right here. That's the most important. So if you need to drop to your knees, you can keep your core tight. Do whatever has to be done to keep that in. Okay, so tighten it up here. Now we work on anti-rotation. Tap, tap. The wider your feet are, the easier it'll be. So if they're a little wider, you're gonna have a little more stabilization. To make it harder, you bring them in. Try not to rotate. Tighten that core up. Don't forget about it. Two more. All right. Shake it out. Make sure nobody has any questions. All right. So our next one, we're going to use, you can use a few different things. If you don't have anything, you're going to go without weights. You're just going to go through the movement. You can use a dumbbell. You can use one of our loops right here. Or you can use a band even, one of those long bands that have the handles, same thing. So now we're gonna work a little bit lower. So you're gonna hinge, and I want you taking 1 foot back, okay? So 1 foot stepping back. So you're in your hinge that we just worked, step that 1 foot back. One hand is going to hold the dumbbell or your band, and you're going to pull up to your hip pocket and lower, okay? If you have a loop, same thing. Your other hand is going to stabilize it here, and you're gonna pull up and down. You're gonna pull to that hip pocket. We're pulling low because I don't want you to get in the habit of pulling up this shoulder when you don't want to. So I want you over accentuating, dropping that shoulder. All right. So grab whatever you need to grab. Again, if you don't have a weight, you're just going to tighten, pull, still keep it tight. Use your own resistance. All right. So here we go. We're going to go one arm at a time because this sets you off balance. So one weight, your body has to tighten up and use that core a little extra so it doesn't rotate. Okay. So again, we do the same thing. We hinge, pull on your core, keep your pelvis rotated. Now step one foot back. All right. One arm, pull, and lower. So right now we're just going through the movement nice and smooth. Exhale as you pull. Keep the core tight. Don't rotate. Keep your shoulders nice and square. This is just like when you're doing circles, things like that. The horse is turning underneath you, and you've got to stay nice and square and follow the horse versus dip that shoulder. Good. So a lot of this is just learning your body, learning where it is in space, proprioception. What's moving, what's not. Once you're aware of what's happening, switch. And what your body's doing, you can correct it. So that's what I talk with my students a lot. Did you feel that? I always tell them exactly when it's right, and then you ask, did you feel it? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and you just keep repeating it until they actually feel the difference. Once they feel the difference when they're on the horse, then they can start to catch themselves and know when it's right and when it's not. Keep that core in. Nice and smooth here. Again, you're pinching your shoulder blades together. Last one. Good. All right. Now we're going to go onto the ground. So, kind of like our T-raise, you're going to be on the ground. Your hands are going to come up. They're going to fly behind you into your back. Then I want you to drop your elbows to the ground, come back up, swim back up. All right? That's the movement. So all your hands are doing, you're on your belly, you're gonna raise, swim them back, connect, drop your elbows to the ground, up, swim them back. All right? Down we go. So again, everything else stays still. Head down on your rolled towel or on the ground. All right, here you go. Up, swim it around, drop your elbows, up. As you do this, especially when you're dropping your elbows, tell if one is tighter than the other. My right shoulder doesn't have as much mobility, so I know I need to work on it and help it out to stay balanced. That could be from injury. It's been pulled out of socket a few times. It could be from lugging kids around on one hip, one shoulder. Good. Drop those elbows, pick them up. 1, 2, 3. Good. Fly it back. Last one here. Drop your elbows, pick them up. 1, 2, 3. Good. All right. Now this next one's gonna be standing. Core tight, pelvis rolled in. So no booty pops here. Tighten it up. All you're doing is now we're rotating. So now we're flying it out and back. If you wanna step it up in intensity and you have a loop here and here. All right, so this is for my riders. They get a little too loose in the elbows, especially at the canter, and their elbows start to flap with the movement of the canter. So we gotta have that control through the shoulders. to be able to move, but keep our elbows in. So elbows always stay at the side, no loose elbows. All right, so here, rotate, in. So again, I want you thinking about pulling your shoulders together in the back. Pull those shoulder blades, pinch. Good. Good, here we go. Elbows stay in. Pinch the shoulder blades. All right, 3 more, ready? 3. Keep your core tight. 2. Last one. Good. All right, shake it out. 1 more round. All right, this time, as we row, we're going to pull up with some power, and then we're going to slowly lower it down. Pull up, slowly lower it down, okay? So get your weight, loop, band, or unless you're doing it by yourself, you're still going to do the same thing, and you're going to resist yourself. So it's going to be like somebody's pulling your hand down and you're going, no! Okay, here we go. We're hinging, core tight. Get your position first. Step it back. Ready? Power up. 1, 2, 3. So again, sometimes things don't always happen nice and slow when we're on our horse. We got to have a little bit of power reaction to us to be able to react quickly, because we know horses have the fastest reaction time of any animal on the planet. And then we got to be able to give slow sometimes, move slow at times, move fast at others. Last one, fast, slow. All right. Find your position, core tight, up, slow, fast, 1, 2, 3, fast, 1, 2, 3, fast. Breathe. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So you're pulling up fast, but with control. So again, you're not letting your body swing. Everything stays still, and you're stopping right at your hip. Last one. Good. All right. Back to those swimmers. On the ground, if you can, try to overlay your hands a little more. It's going to make it harder for your elbows to get down. If you can't, touch your fingertips. All right. Back down we go. All right. Eyes are facing down, so try to listen. Arms up in a Y, thumbs are up. Raise. Fly them back onto your back. Drop your elbows to the ground. Pinch your shoulders blades back. Fly them back up. Good. Keep your breathing nice and steady. Elbows down, elbows up. Fly it back around. Keep breathing. Keep your core tight. We're working our whole back all the way down, because it's having to support you here as everything's lifting off the ground. One more after this one. Okay, last one here. Raise. Arms, elbows down, up. Good. All right. Now we're going back to elbows in. You have your loops, you can use your loops with me. Core tight, butt tight. All right. Fly it out. Slowly come back in. So this is just getting that little bit extra activation. Push out, slowly come back in. Good. Keep your core tight. Again, as you do it, shoulder blades get pinched. As I do it, I'm not popping my butt out. I'm keeping it nice and tight. Shoulder blades pinch together. Good. 2 more here. 1, slow. 2, slow. Good. All right, shake him out. All right. Now we're just gonna stretch it out. Hands clasp, push down. As you do this, again, don't pop the butt. Butt stays in, core stays tight. There we go. Stretch out the shoulders. All right, now you're gonna reverse it. Hands come forward, press it back. So shoulders are pressing. So you have a big C curve going on. Let's go one more time, each one. Right here. Deep breaths. And dive. All right. Now you're gonna go child's pose. So knees come out a little wide because it's gonna stretch out a little bit of your adductor that we're gonna be working later this week. And you're gonna press your arms forward, stretch it back. Deep breaths here. All right, now take one hand, pull it through, and try to look up at the ceiling, the sky, right here. Hold. Back forward, stretch. Other arm through, twist into it. So I'm pressing with my hand that's forward as well to get me that twist. Good. One more time, stretch forward. All right, now sit back down. And you're just gonna put your hands behind your back and you're gonna pop your chest now. Pop your chest. So again, if we're at a desk all day or we're looking at our phone quite a bit, you get to the hunched shoulders. That means your chest muscles are getting tight and your back muscles are getting too stretched out. So we gotta balance that out. We gotta stretch your chest. We gotta work your back. Good, especially for horse riders. We gotta have that extra strong back. All right, good job, guys. Again, if you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask them, put them on here so we can see them. If you wanna message me privately, feel free. These videos will be up all week, so feel free to watch them at any time and let me know how it goes. Bye.